Ever notice how one person walks into a room and suddenly everyone adjusts? The way they talk, stand, even the silence they keep, it all makes people pay attention. They don't demand respect, they radiate it. And before you know it, you're listening a little closer, speaking a little softer, almost as if your mind decided they mattered more. That's not luck, that's psychology. You see, the human brain is wired to obey certain cues: tone, confidence, timing, eye contact. It's happening to you right now, every single day. And most people never even notice it. But once you understand how it works, respect stops being something you chase. It becomes something you command. This is 5 dark psychology tricks that'll make anyone respect you. Welcome to Reart Your Heart, where we decode how the human mind really works so you can take back control. Here, we don't just talk motivation. We break down the science behind confidence, respect, and attraction, the invisible forces shaping how people see you and how you see yourself. So today, we're not learning tricks to fake power. We're learning the mindset that commands it, naturally, quietly, and without effort. Because once you understand the psychology behind respect, you stop chasing approval, and people start adjusting for you. Let's get into it. Let's start with something most people never realize. Influence isn't about controlling others. It's about understanding how easily we're all controlled. Every day, your brain runs shortcuts, tiny patterns that decide what feels safe, who feels powerful, and who deserves respect. Think about it. The waiter who gets more tips because he subtly mirrors your tone. The speaker whose pauses make you hang on every word. The boss who barely raises his voice, yet everyone listens. None of that is random. It's psychological wiring. Our brains are still running ancient programs built for survival, not modern life. So when someone stands tall, speaks with rhythm, or looks you directly in the eyes, your mind quietly says, "Leader." The scary part, you can feel it, but you rarely recognize it. That's what I call hidden influence, the silent language of respect that operates beneath awareness. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you how to use it ethically so that people sense your value before you even speak. Trick 1. The authority frame. Here's a truth that'll change the way you look at every human interaction. People don't follow truth, they follow certainty. You could say something completely wrong, but if you say it with conviction, posture, and composure, people's brains label you as the authority. And once that frame is set, they stop questioning and start agreeing. This is called the authority frame. It's one of the oldest psychological reflexes we have, a survival mechanism from when following the tribe leader meant staying alive. Even today, it's everywhere. The man in a uniform gets instant respect. The person who walks into a room like they belong there gets treated like they actually do. Psychologist Stanley Milgram proved this in the 1960s. In his famous experiment, people were told to give electric shocks to strangers just because a man in a lab coat told them to. Most obeyed, even when the person screamed in pain. Why? Because the brain didn't see a man, it saw authority. Here's the twist. You can trigger that same effect without a uniform or title. It starts with how you carry yourself. Slow movements, calm tone, direct eye contact, no unnecessary words. Authority doesn't shout, it doesn't explain, it simply is. When you master that energy, people will start treating you differently, not because you demand respect, but because their subconscious gives it to you automatically. Trick 2. The power of silence. Here's something most people don't realize. Silence isn't empty. It's full of control. Think about the last time you were in an argument. The person who stayed calm and quiet, they didn't seem weak, did they? They seemed in control. Because when emotions rise, the one who speaks less owns the room. In psychology, this is called the power of silence. It's not just about shutting up, it's about creating tension that makes people listen. See, our brains hate uncertainty. When someone goes silent, we instinctively want to fill the space by talking, apologizing, explaining, giving away power. That's why the most confident people use silence like a weapon. They pause, they let you overthink, and only speak when everyone's attention is hanging on their next word. Watch any great leader, negotiator, or even movie villain. They all master this. Silence isn't awkward when it's intentional, it's magnetic. It says, "I'm not rushing to impress you. You can come to me." So next time you feel nervous in a conversation, don't try to talk your way through it. Just breathe and say nothing. Let the silence do the work. Because power doesn't always speak. Sometimes it waits. Trick 3. The mirror effect. Respect doesn't just come from power. It also comes from connection. And one of the fastest ways to make someone feel connected to you is to quietly, naturally mirror them. In psychology, it's called the mirror effect. Our brains are wired with what's known as mirror neurons. They activate when we see someone doing something, as if we're doing it too. That's why we yawn when someone else yawns, or smile when someone smiles back. But here's the twist. When you intentionally reflect someone's posture, tone, or pace of speaking, their brain reads it as we're the same, and people trust those who feel like them. Try it next time you meet someone. If they lean in, you lean slightly. If they talk fast, match their rhythm. If they're calm, lower your tone. Do it subtly, not mockingly, and you'll feel the energy shift. They'll start nodding more, smiling more, agreeing more, because in their subconscious, you've become safe. This isn't manipulation, it's emotional intelligence, learning to meet people where they are before guiding them where you want to go. Trick number 4, the reward loop. Here's a dark truth about the human mind. People don't just want attention, they crave recognition. Every compliment, every nod, every tiny well done releases a hit of dopamine, the same chemical that drives addiction. It's called the reward loop, and once someone enters it, they'll keep chasing your approval without even realizing it. Think about it. When your boss praises you once, you work harder. When your friend laughs at your joke, you tell another. When your post gets likes, you post again. Each tiny reward programs the brain to return to the source of that validation. Now here's where it gets powerful. If you give your validation strategically, not constantly, you control the loop. Give someone praise only when they've earned it, and they'll subconsciously work to keep your respect. This is how great leaders motivate teams, how mentors inspire growth, and yes, how manipulators control minds. The difference is intention. Use the reward loop to uplift, not to exploit, because once you understand how powerful your approval is, you realize respect isn't taken, it's trained. Trick 5, the emotional anchor. Here's something most people never realize. Your emotions are contagious. When you stay calm under pressure, others borrow your calmness. When you panic, they panic faster. Psychologists call this emotional anchoring. It's when your presence becomes a signal for how others should feel. Ever noticed how certain people walk into a room and suddenly everyone quiets down? Or how a single reassuring voice can steady an entire group? That's not charisma, that's anchoring. You've unconsciously trained others to associate your tone, your face, your energy with a specific emotion. Do it long enough, and people start reacting to you, not to reality. That's the power of emotional anchoring. Control yourself first, and you'll control how the room feels next. Because leadership isn't about being the loudest voice, it's about being the calmest mind. So let's rewind. You've just learned 5 mind tricks that quietly shape human behavior. Authority frame. People obey those who act in control. Mirror effect. Trust grows when they see themselves in you. Pause power. Silence bends attention. Reward loop. Recognition programs loyalty. Emotional anchor. Calmness commands chaos. Every single one of them works because they speak the language of the subconscious. But here's the truth. Most dark psychology videos won't tell you. It's not about controlling others. It's about understanding how control works, so no one can use it against you. Influence can build or destroy, and the difference is your intent. Use these tools to lead, to protect, to connect, never to manipulate. Because when you truly understand the mind, you don't need tricks anymore. You become the calm in every storm, the one people naturally follow. You've just learned how people obey, but here's the twist. The same psychology that lets you lead others can also be used on you. Every ad, every influencer, every fake smile in the boardroom, they all use the same 5 principles you learned today. The difference is, now you can see them. Next time on Reart Your Heart, we'll expose how they control you through fear, desire, and the illusion of choice. Because understanding the mind isn't just power, it's protection. So if you're ready to reprogram how you think and take back control of your reality, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, stay aware, stay grounded, and remember, you're not being controlled unless you choose to be.